So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to maximize your feathers and not have so much waste. So looking at this feather that was got from a pool of other feathers, this one looks a bit untidy. You can see the tip looks so rough. So instead of discarding it, you can just use our scissors and trim it right at that tip. Just give it a slight curve, and you have to curve it gradually so that it doesn't look unnatural. And once you do that, you can see that we have gotten it almost close to the natural shape of the feather, and we can still work with it. Another one is slightly crooked feather or bent feather. This can be salvaged by using a flat iron. You can see we just applied heat on this and this has already been straightened, so this one can be saved. You don't need to discard this. Now, another way to maximize your feather, especially when you want to cut your feathers, don't cut your feathers across, rather cut it always at the spine. Here I'm pointing my scissors at the spine of these feathers and I have cut what I need. So when I say don't cut it across, I mean cutting it this way. This is not the right way to cut feathers. Even though the top part might be okay to be used, but the bottom part, clearly we can't really use this to create a design, except if you come up with something. So always cut it at the spine, just like I'm doing here. Here I'm going to get two different shapes. Here, this is a shape I can use for a design, and then this second one I can also use it for another kind of design. You can see I cut this right at the bottom. So now, to curve feathers, you should always take note of the center. There's a smooth part of the spine and there's also a rough part. So this is the rough part, which is the bottom, and then the smooth part is the top. So we should always curve it from the top downwards. If you want to curve it, don't curve it from the bottom downwards, okay? So now we'll use our flat iron. Make sure the smooth part is on top, and then you curve it from the top downwards. You can repeat this process if you're not too sure if your curve is strong enough. So I'm doing it a second time, and there I've got the shape I want, and this is how to curve it. So once the spine is looking all shiny, just know that that is the smooth surface that you should curve downwards. So now we are also going to talk about the kind of tools we use to cut feather. Just in case you do not have a pointed scissors just like mine, you can make use of blade. This is actually a surgical blade, so either you use the regular blade or you use the surgical blade. I got this from a pharmacy. So you place your feathers on a tiled surface. I wouldn't like to place it directly on my table so that it doesn't get punctured. And if you're going to make use of a blade, we definitely need a hard surface. So I'm using tile, and I place the feather on top of the tile, and then right at the spine I use the surgical blade to just press it downwards until it snaps. So once it snaps, you can see that we have cut the feather into two, but two different shapes. This shape on the right, and of course this on the left. You can use a regular blade to achieve the same thing. You can learn this and more unique feather manipulation techniques in our online course, Featherganza 1.0. Learn to create beautiful and stunning feather headpieces from start to finish to improve on your skills and expand your product offerings. You can register through the link in the description or in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up, share and subscribe for more useful tips and tricks.